What is going on, New York Giants fans? Well, let's see if we got this on. Yeah, we got this on. We're gonna have a couple people call in. Um, we're gonna make this into, I guess you could call it, group therapy session, right? Uh, I feel like a lot of Giants fans, including myself, got a lot on our minds in regards to where this team is at, where this team is headed towards, and just overall the state of the New York Giants right now. Um, there's a lot to break down. There's a lot to break down. We're gonna get this ready for Twitter as well. So just give me one moment, and we will get this situated. But it's gonna be fun tonight. It's gonna be really fun. Hopefully, we can get a couple, people in here. And if shit, we're gonna see what happens. All right, let's see. All right. All right. Cool. We got that to Twitter. Yo, what's going on, Mac the Giants fan? What's good, my brother? How you been, man? I'm gonna drop the link if any Giants fans or just I don't care what fan you are personally, but if you guys want to come in, talk your shit, really get things off your chest about what you feel the New York Giants are doing right now, where we're headed towards. I'm gonna drop that link right now. So let's get this started. Alrighty. So look, we're 1-5, which granted, I did not expect us to go out there and get a win against the Los Angeles Rams. They are one of the hottest teams in the league, one of the best teams in the league. Matthew Stafford is playing at a very high level right now. They have a dominant defense with Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. Taylor Rapp really showed up. Solid player, man. He should have had 3 picks in that game. What's going on, NYG31? If you want to give a call in, man, I just dropped the link. Talk some shit, man. Um, but honestly, where this team is headed, it just feels like everything, we're really back in 2017. Um, it just feels like, and honestly, no, let me come back a little bit because I genuinely feel that the 2017 roster and how the team played would be a lot better than what we're dealing with now. I know that's a little bit of a stretch if you look at the individual players we have on this roster compared to at that time. But if we're looking at a performance standpoint, I think it's pretty close. I mean, offensive line is not where it needs to be. Really, the only bright spot is Andrew Thomas. I like Nick Gates, but we're hoping that he could come back. I'm hoping that he could come back. Will Hernandez most likely is not going to be here next year. And I agree with you, NYG31. This definitely is Dave Gettleman and John Mara's fault. And I got to give a quick shout out to Big Pat Sports Talk, man. I mean, he's one of the best on here, man. My brother, I love him to death. But man, Mara needs to really just be an owner, cut them checks, right, and collect his check and just step back because he's doing too much. He's been doing too much. I feel honestly, Dave Gettleman's taken some heat from things that John Mara has really done. You could kind of make an argument that Saquon was a John Mara pick and not so much a Dave Gettleman pick. I was one of the people that actually wanted Saquon, but I understood wanted to get a player like Quentin Nelson. I wasn't really sold on any of the quarterbacks in that draft. And obviously, we didn't know that Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson would be the players that they are today. But it's just he has to take a step back, man. I mean, we need a complete overhaul, in my honest opinion. And honestly, I agree with you, Mac, the Giants fan. I really do think that it is on Mara more than anything because what has he really done? We've been a losing franchise for the last decade. And it hurts to say that. It really does hurt to say that. Now, I do think a lot of fault goes to Dave Gettleman as well. But John Mara, he deserves a lot of blame. And, he hides in the shadows. I think we all know that. He hides in the shadows. Didn't even want to show his face at halftime for the ceremony yesterday. Made Tom Coughlin kind of like, this not a scapegoat, but, he kind of put him out there when I mean, if I'm an owner of a team, I'm gonna show face regardless of how my team is playing. And I just think that really speaks to where John Mara knows where this team is headed or where this team is at the moment. and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. But let's get NYG 31 in here. What is going on, man? What's up, bro?
Well, nothing, man. I'm just watching the Rangers game right now. But you know, I had to disagree with you with the as far as the 2017 roster. I think this roster right now is way better than the 2017 roster that we have right now. Cause the 2017 roster will play a lot worse than the roster we have right now.
No, I mean I definitely understand that. I think talent wise, for sure, we're a lot better than where we are. Um, I just think that we're seeing a lot of players quit, and a lot of players are definitely collecting checks on this team.
You know
Um,
why? Because of Joe Judge, man. I think Joe Judge is too demanding on his players, so that's why they kind of quit. But
yeah,
you could blame this on Patrick Graham too. That soft zone, and a lot of players has been complaining about that soft zone.
yeah,
They want to play man.
yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
everybody had a bad game with the exception of Andrew Thomas, Kadarius Tony, and who else was out?
we had what's his name out as well. CJ Board. I think he
C.J.
broke his
Boyd.
arm.
Yeah, except for those three players that I mentioned. They didn't have a bad game because they didn't even play.
Yeah,
You know, that like the hub say, the trainers are the worst in the NFL. So you're gonna tell me that you're gonna bring Andrew Thomas back that you know that his toes is still hurting him from 2 games before that. I mean, come on, bro. You can't bring him back that quick. I understand
yeah.
he didn't play the Dallas game, but this game, we didn't even need him in this game. But I could sadly admit I did want Thomas to play because Nate Soldier is just horrendous in both tackle
Garbage,
spots. He's garbage. He
garbage,
should
dude.
be on the bench. Why
He
every
shouldn't even be
time
on the roster.
why every time that someone gets injured, Matt Purr has to play? That doesn't make no freaking sense.
No, I'm there with you. And I agree with the guys over at Talking Giants, where, just because we want Matt Peart to start doesn't really think that we're trying to say that he's a starting right tackle. We just got to see what we have. We know what we have in Nate Solder. I mean, dude's a hot pile of garbage. Like he's straight garbage. But Matt Peart, I mean, he didn't look too good. I got to be honest. I think we all know that he didn't look too good. But
Because
at the same
he
time,
didn't get him enough exposure. That's why he didn't
yep,
look too good. He
yeah, I
didn't
was
get
gonna
enough.
say,
If he get more exposure, then he'll get better,
yeah,
like
I
Andrew
agree.
Thomas is. But
Yep.
Will Hernandez is fine. Did Brett Bredesen play? Ben Bredesen play?
Yeah, he did.
He- Was he horrible too?
Uh he definitely was not good. I'm not gonna say horrible, but he definitely wasn't good. I thought Will
Yeah.
Hernandez he played decent.
I think the thing is with Ben Bredesen, I think he's still dealing with that injury. That's why he wasn't so good on Sunday. I didn't watch the whole game, but I was watching half of the game because I was at work, so
Mm,
I couldn't get a chance to watch the whole game. But the whole team was horrible.
disgusting.
The defense was healthy enough to make plays. They're missing key interceptions. I mean, I'm glad McKinney got an interception, but where's James Bradbury? Where is Dory Jackson? He played well against the Cowboys, but he didn't probably didn't play well against the Rams either. I mean, come on.
I mean, I also think what goes into how James Bradbury and Adoree Jackson is playing right now is we can't get to the QB. We can't get no pressure. I mean, when you look at players like Lorenzo Carter, I'm gonna give Aziz Ojolari, a little bit of slack because he's a rookie. But
Well, I can't give him to me. I can't give him slack because he had 3 sacks for the first 3 games, right? And then he tails off. I mean, I
yeah,
know he has
I
to
hear
get
you.
stronger, but this is New York. New York, you'll get your ass whooped if you don't get a sack. Because
No, I agree with you.
if you don't back up my trash talking, I get pissed off. I get mad. Like we have a chance to expose those Rams. You know that secondary for the Rams is trash. You know that. I didn't
I
know
thought they
that
played
until
pretty.
someone
I thought they played pretty decent, to be honest.
they
But
play pretty decent against us, but I'm like rank wise, the secondary for the Rams is trash. And I'm
no, I hear
saying
what you're
that
saying.
in my hate week. you should expose McVay's offense. McVay's offense is due to get exposed. I say the same thing to the Cowboys offense, but the Cowboys, they destroy us because they know our personnel.
Yeah, and we had a lot of injuries too in that game. I mean,
Yeah,
not so much
no,
on the defensive side, but
the
no, man, it's
offense.
like when you look at this roster, man. I mean, there's definitely talent there. I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
know that, right? We know that there's
Yeah.
talent here, but with our secondary, man, we can't get we can't get a lick of a quarterback, and it's really unfortunate because we heard a lot of praise going into the season about Lorenzo Carter. Where has he been?
But
He
why you
hasn't
giving
he
so
hasn't
much
done anything.
praise? He's just starting to blossom last year. You
Yeah,
can't give
before
the
his
praise
injury.
for somebody that just starting to blossom. Give him a chance.
Yeah, and that praise was coming from Patrick Graham, saying that he
Oh,
looked like,
why would Patrick Graham do that, man?
yeah, right before the season, he said he looked
You
like,
can't
a
do
whole
that.
new player. He looked, better than ever. So, and I
But
actually
he
made a
was,
video on that
but
too.
the rest of last season he was injured. So
Yeah,
why you praising him like that? You should praise Aziz Ojolari because he had 3 sacks for the first game. But then I bet next game he'll sack Sam Darnold. I bet he's gonna sack Sam. Damn,
I hope, man.
You know
I
who play
hope
well in the game? Dexter
who
Lawrence and Leonard Williams play
they
well.
did. They did. I'll
They
give you that.
both
They
play
definitely
well.
did.
They get to Matthew Stafford, which I want.
Mhm.
At least I want at least 3 sacks. I got 3 sacks. That was it.
Yeah,
Rest of them didn't even show up.
and I gotta give a
And
quick shout out
man,
to Rodney real quick. I'm gonna let you speak. Let me just give a quick shout out to Rodney because I agree with you, Rodney. They knew that this offensive line was bad, and honestly, in terms of the offensive line, because I wanted to talk about this real quick. I hear you because Gettleman he's had the time to fix this offensive line. I will say that he's tried, but he's failed miserably outside of Andrew Thomas. I mean, hopefully, players like Shane Lemieux could come back and bounce back, but even then, they're not even, in my opinion, not even average players. And I think that, when we see, because where we're at right now in terms of the franchise, when we see a player that's playing just okay, we kind of see them as, we can't get rid of this player. We can't move on from this player. But a lot of these players that we're starting, they're not even starters on other teams or even second stringers on other teams. And I get it. We went and drafted, not excuse me, drafted. We went and signed a linebacker today that was from Miami and from the Texans as well. But what is that going to do? Like, what is, because honestly, right now, we need some edge help. And I don't see us really making those moves. I know the trade deadline is, I believe, on the 2nd, November 2nd. And I
really?
think we should be sellers. I'm gonna be honest with you. I do think that we should be sellers. Try to get as much capital as we can. I know that we have quite a few draft picks going into the season. Excuse me, going into next season. Um, but I mean, if I'm the Giants, man, I'm looking at Logan Ryan. I'm looking at Jabril Peppers. Unfortunately, because I love Jabril Peppers. I'm looking at Evan Ingram. Um, I've definitely seen a lot of people, saying that Saquon Barkley should be in that conversation. Which
I will keep
I mean,
Saquon Barkley. I will
I,
keep
I I would
Saquon
I would
Barkley
love
though.
to, man. Believe me, I would love to keep Saquon. And if I'm being honest, I think that they will because they got the 5th year option already. Then they have a franchise tag, and then they got another franchise tag that they could do. But it's
I
just a
think
matter
that
of how's he going to bounce back.
Brooklyn hit score. They're gonna I think they're gonna extend Daniel Jones to a bigger contract because look how well he played this season. Not too many fumbles, not too many interceptions, with the exception of the Rams game, but he been playing well. He been playing solid.
Yeah,
I
and
remember we was down in New Orleans by 11 points or a touchdown. He
mhm,
came he came from like 2 touchdowns back and won us the game in overtime.
yeah,
I
and,
remember that game.
and you know what? If I'm the Giants, I don't think, and I might get some pushback. I don't think that Daniel Jones is the issue. I think when you
No,
look
it's
at the
not.
QB class going into the draft next year, it's not good. Um,
I know it's
but
not good.
but I got to agree here with Rodney because we had opportunities to address the offensive line, in this past draft, especially when you let players like Kevin Zeitler, walk, not even walk, but just getting cut. You had every opportunity to. You trade up in the third round to pick up a slot
Corner.
corner, which we already drafted one the season prior, and he
I was
played
telling the
fairly
hub
solid.
about that too.
It's just we had multiple opportunities to address the offensive line, and it's
Hmm.
malpractice. They didn't, and they really tried banking on the growth and the development of these players that they have, which I get it, but at the same time, in my honest opinion, we didn't need a slot corner.
No, we don't.
We didn't, and he hasn't even seen the field. He just got activated today
What?
from the pup squad.
What? Aaron Robinson? Really?
Yeah,
He got activated today.
activated
Is
today.
he gonna play this Sunday?
I don't know. I know Ellison Smith also. He got off of IR too, so we're gonna
Well,
see.
he's more of a practice squad player than the rotational player. So I'm not worried about Ellison Smith. He's a fourth round pick.
Yeah, I mean he has some length, he has some speed on him, but I got to agree here with Mac the Giants fan because there are a lot of different instances that you can kind of look at that Mara doesn't get enough heat for. I mean, you look back to when Eli got benched. You can't convince me or tell me that Mara didn't put a stamp on that. McAdoo's not just going to do that. In my honest opinion, he's just not going to do that. And I feel like Mara had some hand in it. When you look at the Saquon pick, as much as I love and wanted Saquon, it didn't make sense to go in that direction looking at it now because you could kind of see it as Mara wanting to do right by Eli, which we did Eli wrong on the latter half of his career. But
Definitely.
you go and you get a running back, which I get it. He had a spectacular rookie year, but now look, the offensive line still hasn't been addressed.
Can I say something too?
Yeah, go for it.
About that. I think John Mara is trying to do redo his wrongs of what happened or how the way he handled Eli. You remember those three offensive linemen that Dave Gettleman draft? I think he's trying to do right with Daniel Jones. Then he won't make that same mistake like he did with Eli. You see that
Yeah,
kind of pattern there?
but now he's making even more mistakes. You
Because you
know,
know why? He thinks that the defense would be a lot better if he added more corners, more edge rushers. But why he didn't add edge rushers last draft?
yeah,
Why you had to add it in this draft? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense. Like we didn't need Aaron Robinson. We just needed maybe a offensive guard or a tackle in the third round, stuff like
yeah.
that.
I mean, I know that Baltimore picked up a guard in the third round a little bit before us, I believe,
I
or
think it's
I believe it was after
Ben
us.
Cleveland.
Yeah,
Ben
Ben
Cleveland.
Cleveland. He's a monster too.
We
And
should have picked
honestly,
him. We should have picked him.
I mean, but
We
unfortunately,
should
we
have picked
didn't.
Aziz Ojolari, right? We should have picked Ben Cleveland at the same time. We could have had a Georgia Bulldog right now in our team.
Yeah, I mean, we
We
got a
sh-
lot of Georgia Bulldogs on this team. I mean, the right tackle we just picked up, Isaiah Wilson's from Georgia as well,
yeah, no,
and
but
he has to cut down some weight too before he plays.
he's probably gonna be waived after that. I'm not worried about Isaiah Wilson. He's a nutcase. He should be going back to the Titans. Let the Titans handle him.
I mean, you never know, man. I mean, you never know. And honestly, I get it. He's had some chances in the NFL, but I'm for giving guys a chance. I got to be honest with you.
I'm
And
not giving this guy type of guy a chance because he had a chance. He had a chance in with the Dolphins. He messed up. He showed up late. He showed up late for practice or late for what? Not testing, but something
it's like
else.
I believe it was his physical.
Physical. He showed up late to his physical, so I'm not giving him no chances. Go back to the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, but he's
Leave
been
leave leave Matt Perr alone. Let him start. I want to see what Matt Perr got. Maybe he
which
could.
I'm there with you.
Maybe he could be a side right tackle.
He could be, and that's the thing is that right now, I mean, you got to let these players play. Like I said, we know what we have with Solder, and I agree with you. I agree with you, Rodney. I mean, we kind of have set DJ up for failure. I mean, and it's
Yeah.
sad because this was supposed to be that evaluation year for DJ, right? And I mean, the injuries, man, the injuries. I mean, the lack of depth that we have on this offensive line. It almost feels like we're putting duct tape on issues that honestly we've been neglecting, and it's just coming to bite us in the ass at this point. And
I hope we pick an offensive line next year, make multiple offensive line like we did in 2020.
I mean, with the new GM, man, you never know. You
I
never
don't,
know which
you know what?
direction. But and
I
I don't want
have
to
a
cut you
feeling.
off. Yeah,
I have a feeling if we're 7-9 this year, I think Dave Gettleman stays.
man, if we could get to 7 wins, I mean that would be a miracle at this point. Because I'm gonna be honest, as much as I think that we could have a chance with the Panthers, man, if Andrew Thomas isn't playing, which I'm not sure if he is, I mean they
I'm
got
not
a
sure
defense,
either.
man. I mean Hassan Reddick did a number on us when he was with Arizona last year. Did a number on us. On top of that, Brian Burns is looking solid. I mean Jeremy Chin and them. I mean
Oh, I
they got
forgot
a
about
they
Jeremy
got a
Chin.
defense over there. Don't get it twisted. They got a
what about that
defense
guy that who they drafted from Penn State? I forgot his name.
from Penn State, from
Mont
Carolina.
Yota Montas. Yeah,
Oh,
that's him.
Uder Gross Matos.
You the gross models. He's a monster. You don't want to mess with that dude.
No, and honestly, man, it's like when I look at Carolina, I mean, I believe last year in the draft they went all defense. If I could be wrong, but I think they went
Because the
all
year
defense
before that, their
last year.
defense sucked. That's why they went with
It
all
was abysmal.
defense.
And when you look at this, when you look at the roster that we have right now, our perennial, which I'm gonna do this because I don't see him as a perennial pass rusher. Lorenzo Carter has 9 sacks, I believe 9 or 9.5 sacks in 4 seasons, and one forced
Wow.
fumble, which happened in
Wow.
the Patriots game 2019. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
I
remember
remember
that.
that game. I
Um,
remember that game.
and then he has one interception, which came
I didn't even
against
know he had
Dallas.
it. I didn't even know he had an interception.
Yeah, he had one against Dallas. He caught one off of Dak, like right at the line.
Wow, that's
Um,
crazy.
but this is supposed to be our perennial pass rusher, and when you look
He's
at it,
really
he's
not. He's a
not.
third round pick. How you gonna call him a millennial passer if he's a third round pick?
Yeah. I mean, right now, I think we can all agree, guys, that we need some dogs. We need some dogs on this team, man,
We
because right
do.
now we don't have any dog. Not let me not say any dog. So I think Tony's a dog. I think that when healthy, Saquon's a dog. You can make an argument that
You could
Jabril
say
Peppers
he's
is a dog.
Aziz Ozolari, even
That's
though he's a
another dog.
rookie.
But we need
He's a
some more
dog.
dogs, man. I
He's
mean,
a
we
dog,
really need
man.
some more dogs. And Gettleman has to go. I
Oh, of
can't make
course.
no excuses for Dave Gettleman, man. I can't. And it's, I know I'm impatient, but man, it is the day after. Why does this man still have a job? I think in the real world, if you're bad at your job, and if you put bad product with your job, and if people are noticing that you're doing a bad job, typically you lose your job.
Of
Typically you lose
course.
your job.
But I
And
don't think he's gonna lose his job with John Mara, because you know how John Mara is. John Mara is gonna probably keep Dave Gettleman if despite having a bad season. I know what John Mara is all about.
he just needs to look, like I said, he needs to step back and be an owner. And honestly,
Exactly.
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't, and nor have I seen John Mara as a football guy. I think he's a guy that, or a kid that inherited a football team. And
Right.
I think that right. And I know some people might not agree with me. I get that, but he needs to be an owner and let the general managers and the coaching staff do what they need to do. And it doesn't need to be Dave Gettleman. It does not need to be Dave Gettleman because we all know that's not working. It hasn't been working. And then when you
Nope.
look at Joe Judge in a sense, I mean, he preached that we wouldn't beat ourselves. We'd play 60 minutes. Punch you in the nose. I mean, I can't say that we've really done a lot of that. I mean,
Nope.
we've beaten ourselves. I mean, and it's sad because when you look at our 1-5 record, should be 3-3, but should be's, would be's, they don't mean nothing,
You
unfortunately.
know,
But
these close losses is really biting us in the ass now. Even when we were healthy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
We getting blown up by the Cowboys, and then this past game we getting blown up by the Rams. Come on, bro.
no, and I gotta agree with Mac the Giants fan. I mean, from when I look at it personally, from round one to round four, and I know some people because I know some people that really say round one to round three is those are the main contributors. And then from 4 to 7, that's more depth. I think you can still find good talent in the fourth round.
Oh
But
yeah.
I mean, you look
Oh
at the
yeah.
players that we've selected just in the third round, fourth round, not really contributing, not really contributing, and
I
it's
would
sad,
say
man.
Darnay Holmes is contributing a little bit. He's a fourth round pick. I think he's contributing, but the rest of them is just not contributing nothing.
And it's sad when you look at it. You got players, and I believe I'm gonna check up here. NYG True Fan once said this. This I agree with. O'Shea Jimenez has been a bust.
Of course
Lorenzo
he
Carter
is.
has been a bust.
Of
I
course.
mean, it's at some point, man, you got to look at the players that you have. And look, Joe Judge said this at his presser. It's not about putting square pieces in circle holes, something like that. Well, that's what he's doing this year. That's what he's doing this year, and it's like I don't understand it. I really do not understand it. Now, do I want Joe Judge gone? At the moment, no.
Yeah.
But if things get worse, absolutely. Which honestly, man, when you look at the rest of the schedule, we got to buckle up because we still got Kansas City, we still got Tampa, we got some teams left that we got to play. That I mean, we thought it was bad against the Rams. I don't know, man.
I don't
I
know
don't
either.
know. But Rodney, you damn right about this one. Look, I live in Florida. If I gotta drive or fly to New Jersey with some pitchforks or something, I'm gonna do it because there is no reason why this man should still have a job. There is no reason why that key card should have worked this morning at 9 a.m. No reason. No reason. And it's like I'm at a point right now as a fan that when I hear Joe Judge talk, it just pisses me off now. Where before, I wanted to run through a wall for this man. But now when I hear him talk, it's like, and I'm gonna say this too. He said if you were to go to a car salesman and boo him, they wouldn't like it. I'm a car salesman. If I got booed for how shitty my performance was, because we get reviews. If my reviews aren't good, I can get fired. Well, guess what, Joe? Your record has not been good. Unfortunately, it has not been good. And honestly, man, I want to give it time because we can't just keep recycling these head coaches. But man, at some point, something's got to change, and it's got to
Oh
start right
yeah.
now with Gettleman. He's got to go. And even if you're gonna fire him, but let him stay with the team until the end of the season, use that time to go find and scout another general manager. And I don't want to see no Kevin Abrams talk because I don't think that changes anything. I'm not sold on Kevin Abrams.
Mm.
If I'm the Giants, for me personally, I'm looking at someone on the outside. Um, and even with that, man, it's
What
gonna
about
be
the
hard.
inside? It'd be a lot better to look from the inside than the outside. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
that's the thing though, is that when you look at it, I mean, Gettleman was here before.
Hmm.
Abrams is still here. I mean, Jason Garrett was here before in the past. I mean, Patrick Graham was here in the past. And I commend the Giants and John Mara for wanting to do right by the people that they have history with. But it's business, man. It's business. I'm not in here for the friends, man. I'm here for the wins and for the trophies. And we're the laughing stock of the NFL right now. And I hate saying that. I really hate saying that because I don't want to believe that. But it's true, man. I mean, if you were to tell me right now, can this team go down there and beat the Jets or beat the Jaguars? In my heart, I would want to say yes. But genuinely, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know. I don't think so, man. I mean, I really don't, and I feel bad for Daniel Jones. I really do feel bad for that kid because, man. First of all, let me ask you something, MYG 31. Were you for Jones playing when the game was out of hands and letting maybe him get him play that full 60 minutes, or would you have preferred him to get not necessarily benched but put out of the game and have Mike Lennon come in due to the fact that the game was out of hand?
I was I'm like in between that because I really want Jones to play to get accustomed with his second or third string wide receivers. And then yet again I want him out of the game because the game is already out of hand. You don't want him to get hurt
Yeah,
any further like he did against Dallas, you know?
I agree with you, man. I mean, I I personally did not see a reason why Jones should have been out there longer than what he was. We all knew. Hold on one sec. My cat just tried jumping up here. How you got to go down. We all knew that the game was out of hand. We all knew that this team was not winning that game. If I'm looking for the betterment and for the health of my QB who just got cleared from, you know, 1 week out of being a concussion protocol, man, what do I got to lose putting in my backup quarterback? It's not because my franchise quarterback right now, or my starting quarterback, excuse me, it's not getting it done due to the weapons we have on the field because of the injuries, right?
Right.
I'm not going to risk injuring my player even more because honestly, man, as bad as the game that Daniel Jones had yesterday, I give him a lot of props, man. I give him a lot of props. I know he came out and said that he felt he just got the win taken out of him in Dallas. Dude's a stud. But man, if I'm down that much, man, pull the QB out. Pull him out. Put Mike
Exactly.
Lennon in, man. I mean, you pay the man for a reason. And Judge want to talk about, oh, you know, I want to see us compete. I want to see who's going to play for 60 minutes. Well, I hope you saw. I hope you saw because in that time you also saw a lot of players quit on you. So I hope that you could see, you know, the roster and the players that you have
He said
because
in the locker room he challenged these guys, who's gonna play 60 minutes? You know what I'm saying? But then I say like I could say this. Dexter Lawrence and Lennon was they did play for 60 minutes.
they looked
But
solid. They looked solid, man.
they
But
look solid.
I'm looking at Lorenzo Carter. I'm
Oh, I
looking
was
at
about to.
O'Shane. Where were these dudes? I
Where would
mean,
but
at the same time,
how did why would they put Lorenzo not Lorenzo Carter? Why would they put Tay Crowder on a running on Cam Akers? Or
I
who
couldn't.
scored that who saw that touch
Oh,
that
Henderson. Henderson.
Henderson?
Crowder was covering him. Yeah.
Why would they put Tay Crowder on Henderson? Why did they put
I mean, it's the same reason why they put Jabril Peppers on Cooper Cup. I can't tell you. Like it just
I
that made
mean
no sense to me, man. I mean, you know they're targeting Cooper Cup, right? Why am I
yeah.
putting my box safety on on a receiver that's balling right now, man? I mean, because
Why
Cooper
you
Cup is
didn't put okay,
balling, man.
here's this. Why you don't put Xavier McKinney on Cooper Cup? Because Xavier McKinney could cover a little bit. You see
Yeah,
that you see that interception he got at the end of the half yesterday, right?
yeah, he had two yesterday, actually. Yeah,
He had two interceptions.
he did. But when you get blown out like that, man, I mean, it doesn't really get talked about. But yeah, he had two picks yesterday.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah,
So then Xavier McKinney's probably a stud now. Because they talking about he's
maybe.
not a stud and all that. But you remember he was injured throughout the half of the season last year. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that there are some players on this roster that are untouchable at the moment, but there are a lot of players right now that if I'm the Giants, I'm in selling mode right now,
yeah,
and I'm answering calls.
you gotta get rid of Lorenzo Carter or Shane Jimenez. That's it.
Yeah, and
Keep Carter
honestly, man,
Coughlin, keep Cam Brown, keep Aziz Ojolari. That's about it.
yeah, nah, and honestly, man, it hurts. It really does hurt because I really thought that this team was going to be competitive this year. I even thought that after the Saints game, I'm like, wow, you know, we look good, but boy, was I wrong. We're gonna let Rodney in here real quick.
Yo,
What is
yo,
going on,
what's
man?
good,
What's
man? What's
up, man?
good?
Chilling, dog. Chilling. You speaking some facts in the chat, man. I can't even hold you, man. So I'm gonna let you talk. Talk your shit, man.
All right, first things first, what's going on, everybody? My thing is, I've been a diehard Giants fan since I can remember. Growing up, little kid, watching LT and all them. There's really nothing more I can really say right now, man. I mean, I'm kind of like lost for words. That's the
Yeah,
truth.
man.
This team
I
is
feel
going
you,
in the
man.
wrong direction.
To
Wrong
say the
direction.
least. To say the
Facts,
least.
man. Facts.
And the biggest thing that I see is that everybody says, okay, it starts with the front office, the owners, and all this other stuff. Unless the owners sell the team to somebody else, they're not going anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah,
100%.
facts.
Yeah.
So we can either X out that and start to where the
What
front
happened?
office, the scouting department
Chris
is the
Mara.
issue.
Yep.
Well, with the scouting department is the issue, but you have to remember the owner's also the issue. Because I think I have that feeling if we're a bad team, I think he's going to keep Dave Gettleman. Because I think John Mara and Dave Gettleman are friends.
I mean, they have history with each other, but I know that John Mara's son, Chris Mara, is
Hmm.
the head scout. I mean, what players have we really brought in here? When I look at Dave
How?
Gettleman's,
Wait,
drafting
wait.
history,
Chris Mara is a head scout. How he's a head scout?
No, he's vice president of player personnel.
there you
That's
go,
what
there you
he
go,
Oh,
is.
okay,
there you
okay,
go, there
okay,
you go,
okay, okay,
there
okay,
you
Nepotism
go.
at its worst.
okay.
And it's like, if you're not gonna, which I don't see Tish or Mara selling the team whatsoever. I don't see it happening. Do your
No.
job as owners. Go make some money. Y'all are good at that. Y'all ain't so good at football, but do what you guys do and let the football guys handle it, man. I mean, I really don't. I don't see a way that this team could turn it around if it doesn't start with the front office.
Yeah,
I really don't.
yeah, I agree.
And I could be wrong, but I really do think that not only do changes need to be happen, they need to be happening yesterday. They've been needing to be happening, and we just keep sitting on our hands like, we're progressing, we're getting better. We're only gonna go up. Well, really, we've been going down. We've been
No.
going down, and honestly, man, the Lions kind of look a little better than we do at the moment.
No, no, I
No,
think we look
I
a
gotta be
lot.
real. They
I
look a
think
little
we look
better
a
than we
lot
do
better
right
than the
now.
Lions. I'm sorry, but we look
Nah.
a
I think
lot better
talent
than the
wise we
Lions.
have it, but with how the Lions are playing, they're staying in these games, which the Giants are too in a sense. This was the second game actually that we got blown out. First game was I believe it was San
Denver.
Francisco last year. But nah, man, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's a straight up joke, and ain't shit funny right now. Ain't
Oh,
shit
it's funny. I'm gonna stop you there. It's funny. First of all, I'm gonna harken back to what you just said. The one thing I will say, right, is that you know what? Regardless of what their record is, the Lions are doing the one thing that the Giants cannot do, and
What?
that's putting up points.
Thank you.
Somehow, some way, that bad team is putting up points.
But Jared Goff sucks. That's the
I,
only thing.
I, we can all agree on that. He sucks.
Do
He
we?
proved that. I mean, they pretty
He
much kind of
proved
proved
that
that
against the
with Stafford.
Bengals, man.
They pretty much proved that when they got rid of Stafford, Goff got exposed for exactly who he is. He's a
Mm-hmm.
bad quarterback,
Exactly.
but those Lions are putting up points. If
Yep.
we were putting up the same points that the Lions are putting up, we would not be a 1-5 team. We wouldn't
Absolutely.
be.
We'll probably
Not
be
There's no
like a three and
way.
three, or maybe 3-1 or something like that.
Exactly. So where does that say? What does that say? I've been saying it from since last year. Better yet, I said it when he first sat there and told them that he was going to be the offensive coordinator. I'm like, Jason Garrett, offensive coordinator?
I wasn't for it, man. I wasn't for it, and
All I,
it terrifies me that a judge goes that he's going to be the head coach.
I
I'm sorry,
mean,
it
I could
terrifies the
give
shit out of me.
Jason Garrett one credit. He did do a good job with Daniel Jones. I could give him that, but anything else, nah.
I mean, when I look at how our offense is, and then I look at other teams in the league, it just seems like we're just stuck in the Stone Age. It really does seem like we're stuck in the Stone Age, and it's
yep.
like I don't understand it because even with the Lions, dog, they're spreading the ball around. They're stretching the field. We didn't have a
Mm-hmm.
single pass yesterday go over 20 yards.
Yep.
That's insane. Like I can't even believe I just said that. Like that's insane to think about. Now I get it. Players are out, but you still got Sterling Shepard there. You still got John Ross. You still got Evan Ingram. I mean, you can stretch the field, but this offensive line, man. Look, the Rams knew we had a bad O line, and they took advantage of that shit, man. I pray we could get a defense like that one day, man. But they
Look,
took advantage of us, man.
any team that wants to sit here and actually just, just take a look. I mean, first of all, one, going from looking at Denver, with the exception of the New Orleans game, all you have to do is watch what Jason Garrett does. All you have to do is watch his scheming. That's all you have to do. You can pretty much guarantee he's going to win one or two things: dive plays and stick play curls. That's just a guarantee.
Made my skin itch real quick.
And first of all, anybody, you don't really even have to game plan to that. All you got to do is play to wherever the first down marker is. You're good to go.
Yep.
So literally, this team could be a whole lot better. Things could be done a whole lot better. But it should have started, and I'm sorry to say this, it precedes Gettleman. It should have been started when Eli was still here.
Yeah, I agree.
The O-line was always
1,000%.
bad.
It's been bad for almost a decade.
Yeah, it should never have taken that long to fix it. It should never have taken that long to fix it. I don't care if you got to take an old lineman first, second, third, fourth round of every given draft. Granted, you're not going to do that, but you know what? Somewhere, somehow, you're going to hit on something.
But no, we'd rather draft linebackers in the 6th round.
Oh, no. You know, he likes his hog molly. So, you know, he's going to go get a defensive tackle even though we don't need it.
Man, let me tell you something. I mean, when I look at this offensive line, I mean, like I said, I don't think Hernandez is here after this season. I think he's gone, which is going to lead to another issue. We got some problems on this team, man. But I do think that the rebuilds should have started a lot sooner than what it did. Because as much as I love Eli, we should have definitely moved on a lot quicker than what we did. And I get it, John Mara, you know, that's in a sense a stand-up thing, but at the same time, I'm looking at the team, I'm looking at my business. And I got to do what's right for the business and for the fans, you know, and I think Eli would have understood. You know, I'm not saying go out there, you know, draft a QB, have him play the whole season, but at least get your guy. You feel me? We had no business doing what we did. And unfortunately, man, this offensive line, it's been trash. It's been trash.
Yep.
And, I look at teams like the Browns. I look at teams like Arizona. You know, they've turned things around in the past. You know, the Browns were once the laughingstock of the league. Now look at them.
I just tweeted about that the other day. Matter of fact, yesterday, I tweeted about that and said flat out, what is it that the Browns and the Bengals too of all teams, the Bengals, the Browns, who else? All those teams that were like, you know, dumpster teams way back when. Look at them now. What did they do differently? Can we just sit there? Hey man, give me that template that you just did, and let me just try to emulate that. Come on, it's not that hard.
Nah, man, it's not.
What's going on, Big Pat?
What's going on, Pat Squad, man? Just had to come and show some support.
I appreciate that. Thank you, brother, for real. How are you feeling, man? Because your video that you released about why we're the laughingstock, it was just nothing but facts, dog. And it just, honestly, it made me even more mad because that's the reality we live in right now. So I want to know how you feeling, man. What are your thoughts right now?
I really put my thoughts into that video, man. I just want to give real content to the real Giants fans out there.
Yes, sir.
That's gonna stick with this team no matter what, how trash we are. I'm still gonna do play-by-play every week. But feelings is, man, we just need to purge this team, man. I believe we need to do a true rebuild, and a true rebuild is not trying to win while you're trying to rebuild, and that's what we've been doing. That's why we signed people.
Oh yeah, I was going to mention about that earlier.
100% on that.
We try to sign people like Billy Price, who's a Cincinnati Bengals reject off their offensive line. So that should tell you exactly how good he is. And we trade Kevin. We don't trade Kevin Zyle. We release him. He goes to the Ravens, and then
we should. You know what? You know what? We should have re-signed Kevin Zyle.
Yeah, we let go Kevin Zeitler, and then we pick up Max Scara, the guy that Kevin Zeitler is replacing. You see what I'm saying? So we're bringing in. I'm not gonna call them scrubs because they do something that we couldn't do, is get in the league. We all play football before, but none of us are in the league, so I can't call them scrubs.
But yeah, Nah, I hear you there. They're
I
scrub for an
mean,
NFL level, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
and that's what I was saying earlier. I feel like we have a lot of players with potentials. I feel like where we're at in the state of the franchise, we're looking at a lot of players that are playing at just an okay level and saying, we can't get rid of these people. No, we can. We can move off of these people. We can go get better talent. And
I want to mention something about that too because that's the main problem on this roster.
yeah,
We give our alliances to people that are not producing. Like I did said in my video, our top two edge rushers, O'Shane Zimenez and Lorenzo Carter, in 4 years combined, they have 14 sacks in 4 years.
it's horrible.
A total of 80 tackles combined in 4 years. A total of one forced fumble between them in 4 years.
Hmm.
Do you
Yeah,
know all their stats combined for 4 years? Von Miller could do in one.
yeah. Shaq Barrett could do in one. I mean,
Shaq
it's
Barrett did in one.
he did.
Yeah. You remember Shaq Barrett had like 20 sacks in one season.
Yeah, and I actually I had quoted you earlier, dog, in the stream, bro. Lorenzo Carter, what is it, 9.5 sacks in 4 years?
Yeah. Nine and
What
a
what
half
kind
sacks in 4 years.
And that's our perennial pass rusher.
That's supposed to be the best pass rusher on this team. He's supposed to be the guy you fear.
But
So
you gotta forget. But Lorenzo Carter had a lot of injuries too, so that's why he never lived up to his potential too. So,
that's the excuse for sticking with this guy because he had injuries. That's
well,
I
sort
mean
of,
that's
yes,
the excuse.
yeah,
Well,
sort of,
yeah, yeah. You invested a draft pick, so you want to see what you can get out of that draft pick. The problem is that the draft pick doesn't live up to your expectation. What are you supposed to do?
So
You have
so
to give him the opportunity to play to be able to see. That's the reason why I'm not understanding why they're playing Solder and not Matt Pert, regardless of the fact.
right.
Schultz shouldn't even be
so
on this
let me
damn
so
roster.
so let me ask you a question. If you had a business and you had a guy that you brought in, he gave you an excellent interview. Excellent interview. You believe this guy could be one of your best employees. But for some reason, every time he's supposed to show up to work, he gets sick. And he's been doing this for over a year. Would you still keep him?
No,
Nah,
can't.
No,
nah,
can't.
Okay.
can't do it.
You can't.
Okay. So what's the difference? Just because he's a pro athlete is different?
No, not at all. I mean, and that's the thing is like if us like non-athletes, like when we go to work, if our performance isn't high, like we get replaced.
Do
So they,
the pitch
they,
do the Pittsburgh Steelers do that?
no,
Look how many receivers they've been through.
and they
Mike
still hit
Wallace.
it.
Yeah, Mike Wallace, Emmanuel Sanders, Antonio Brown, Juju Smith Schuster. The kid that they had that kept messing up, and Martavis Bryant, talented as I don't know what. Didn't he get replaced after he kept getting suspended?
Yep, he
Yeah,
did.
yep, he
He
did.
ain't
He
even
got
in the league
replaced
no more.
immediately, didn't he?
Yep,
He
Hmm.
Then
did.
they replaced Antonio Brown with Juju Smith.
Hmm.
And now Juju Smith is going to get replaced by Deontay Johnson. What's Claypool, who I wanted us to draft?
I want to
Hmm.
Clay
They
Pool too,
replace receivers year after year after year after year after
hmm
year.
and they
They
hit the
stock
nail
is
on him too.
full. Nate Washington, he's there. You don't think he's getting ready to get replaced this year coming up because he's not producing?
Oh yeah. Honestly,
Didn't
Pittsburgh is going to address that
yeah?
wide receiver position in this draft.
Didn't the Broncos have DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller, but they drafted Bradley Chubb high?
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
Let,
They
let's
did.
let's let's get closer to home. Didn't the Cowboys keep signing lineman after lineman after lineman?
Yep.
Yep.
Didn't they just draft Biotis to replace Frederick when he kept getting injured?
Yep.
Yep.
Why did they draft Lyle Collins? Why? Because Tyron Smith kept getting hurt. I
Yeah.
Right.
guarantee you they're gonna get another lineman to replace Lyle Collins because he keeps messing up. You see how they keep replacing people? You can make fun of the Cowboys all you want. It's where they should be made of because they're considered Super Bowl contenders every year, but they haven't done anything for 30 years. But you can't say John Mara and Chris Mara are better than Jones and his boy. You know why? Because they
Why
keep the
not?
Cowboys relevant every year.
Mm-hmm.
You've
Right.
never
About
seen the
that.
Cowboys be this low on the totem pole. You might laugh at them because they're not living up to expectations, but they damn sure in the playoff race every year, aren't they?
You're right
Right.
about that.
Right.
Jerry Jones might be a lot, but he damn sure know how to get talent. Didn't they just release Smith and
Mm-hmm.
drafted the boy from Penn State?
Yep,
Well,
Michael
Michael
Parsons.
Parsons, right?
Yep, Micah
We're
Parsons.
doing the
Yeah.
same thing. Smith wasn't living up to expectations after a good year, and Smith had a Pro Bowl year.
Mm-hmm.
Rizzo
Hmm.
Carter Zimenez ain't even sniffed the Pro Bowl, but we
Nope.
still giving them our loyalty, right?
And they paid him too.
Yeah, and they paid him. Guess
Mm-hmm.
what? He's on the Packers now. You know why? Because Michael Parsons is there. They said, forget this. This guy's not showing the ability that he once was. We're gonna draft Michael Parsons and we're gonna get it.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Only
Micah
person that
Parsons
really,
is a dog too.
yeah, only
That's
person
somebody
that
that you'd
really
want to walk
showed,
with you down a dark alley for sure.
yeah,
Yep.
only person they really showed loyalty to is Trey Diggs, and you see the reason why they did. The
Yep.
man had 7 picks in 6 games. I think 2 pick sixes.
Yeah.
So there was something
I,
there that they saw. They was just like, we just got to bring it out of them. Oh, guess who he replaced? Byron Jones. After he had a Pro Bowl year and he fell off 1 year, guess what? They drafted
Oh,
Trey Diggs and shipped him out to Miami, didn't they?
yep.
They
And
let
you
him
look at the
ship him to
Rams too.
Miami, but they let him walk. They didn't give him that contract.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah. You
that's
look
our
at the
problem.
Rams as well.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
they
our
give
problem.
Gurley that money. They sign Goff, and then what do? They ship out Goff. They release Gurley. I
Yeah,
mean,
didn't
it's
the
business.
Cowboys have Ezekiel Elliott? But when he started messing up and not showing that he was the same Ezekiel Elliott, didn't they draft Pollard?
Yep.
Yeah, they drafted him.
Now they're one of the best 1-2 punches in the league. You
and
see where
Zeke
I'm
never
going with
really
this?
had an excuse to be bad being drafted, but with that offensive line in front of him.
Yeah, didn't they have Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup, but they still drafted CD Lamb because he was the best person
Yep.
available right there?
Yep.
Yeah.
CD Lamb just win the game for him. Didn't CD Lamb just kill Bradbury? You see where I'm
Yep.
going with this? Everybody
Oh,
bashed him for
right.
drafting CD
Well,
Lamb.
and
Like he about
okay,
to get
well, where's Darnay Holmes? Because I thought he locked down C.D. Lamb last year.
They ain't even playing him.
Man, last year, I'm sorry. I can't really say last year was a real year because he had so many people hurt and it was COVID. So a lot of the teams that you're seeing now, plus we know with all the people opting out, you're seeing the teams now for who they are. You're
Yeah, that's the
seeing those true
slogan
teams now.
for this team this year. Show me who you are, and they've shown you who they are, and we still put them on the field.
I think they just don't have an identity, especially the defense. They don't have an identity. There's no leader back there. The moment Blake Martinez went down,
Well, I
it
think
was a
it's hard
wrap.
for our team to even find an identity when all of our chess pieces keep getting removed and replaced. How can you have an identity when everything keeps getting switched on you? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like as
true.
soon as you have a full team together, when's like the last time we had all of our pieces on the field for a whole game?
I don't remember.
Oh man, that's hard to
And I
say.
think that has to do with something with our turf. It wasn't there rumors that they're probably going to be switching it to grass next year, or
There
I
were a
mean, they
lot of
should
teams
switch to the
complaining
grass
about it
right
today
now.
too.
because I think that's one of our biggest issues is our home state. We play terrible at our home stadium, and it's not just us that complains about it; it's other teams that come to play there.
Mhm.
Everybody hates that stadium. I think the Giants field has probably claimed more injuries in the last few years than any other stadium.
It has, but it still has to do with us. Those other
Yeah,
teams are kicking our ass on that field, so it really
Yeah.
doesn't matter about the field. It's the people that we have on the field that's killing us.
that's
No,
Why are
true.
that's
we still
true, and
playing?
I honestly don't think that we're as bad as we really think we are. I feel like we're a few offensive linemen away and a good pass rusher away to be a decent team.
Do y'all
I
know
agree.
that
I
Aziz
agree.
Ojulari as a rookie, his first 3 games matched the average total of Zimenez and Carter the past 4 years in sacks.
Nah,
He got 3 in the
but that
first 3 games,
shit.
and that's what Zimenez and Carter averaged on the year combined.
I
But those
didn't
two
know that,
rookies
but
are our
damn.
starters. Do you know that Caden Smith, every time he gets in there, something good happens when they throw him the ball? But we still we still put in Rudolph and Ingram over him.
Yeah, and does what's our tight end's name that you just mentioned? Uh,
Smith?
Smith.
Caden
Rudolph,
Smith.
Yeah, Caden Smith. Yeah, does he have like an attitude problem, or what's his? Why is he never on the field besides blocking? It seems
don't
like
make
every
sense.
time he's targeted in the
I don't-
passing game, he makes something happen.
Yeah, I don't know what Joe Judge has against that kid. I don't know what Joe Judge has against.
That's one of the
him.
most frustrating things when you see players that actually look hungry and they get on the field and they make the most of their opportunities, and then they show you, and then you never see them again. They just stand on the sideline and look pretty.
Yeah,
It's like I don't understand it.
And
Yeah.
But
the
you know
thing,
what
our
it is?
pass
They
rush could be a
falling in
lot
love
better.
with Evan Ingram and that Rudolph kid we just signed from the Vikings. So that's that's why he doesn't trust Caden Smith for some reason.
This was happening
I
last
didn't
year.
agree with that. I didn't even agree with that signing.
Yeah, this
I
happened.
didn't
This
like that
happened
signing.
last year during Daniel Jones' rookie year. He doesn't like Caden Smith for some reason. But think about this: we're a team that get rid of the players that produce to keep these stupid draft picks out there that we failed on, and we don't want to look stupid, but we look stupid in the process. Why did we let Kyle Frackle go? Why did we let Marcus Golden go? Why did we let Jabbar Sheard go? Do you know those were the guys? Those were the guys that had the pass rush going, because those two guys last season that started, they were hurt, and we had a good defense, didn't we?
Now, was it because of those players, or was it because Patrick Graham was running a different scheme and allowing them to make plays?
I believe he had more things he could do with those other guys than these two guys that are on the field now.
Because I mean, if you want to talk about somebody that has a wide skill set, I think Lorenzo Carter could do just about anything you ask him to. He might not be able to do everything at an elite level, but he's basically a jack of all trades. And I think you could use him on stuff. I would rather see him going up against guards than tackles. I'd like to see him blitz from the middle.
That's why you put him in the middle of the field and see if he can play middle linebacker for you. But for some reason, we want to keep him on the edge. For some reason, we do. And I don't see why. He's not a premier pass rusher. He's shown you this. There's film. There's a whole process showing you that he can't be the number one pass rusher. And we still put him on the field. And Zimenez has shown you absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And he still plays.
Zimenez coming into the year, I thought he was a decent pass rusher, but not a good run blocker.
How?
So far this year, I haven't even seen that. I thought he was a good bull rusher. Like, I didn't think he had any bend, but I thought he could at least push the pocket.
This man has absolutely shown you nothing since he's been in the league. I ask y'all to show what year, what plays has he shown you that he should be anointed the pass rusher of this team? What plays?
No, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be. But it's just at the point where we don't have anybody else to really step up. I'd like to see Quincy Roche out there more.
Right.
But and I don't understand. Yeah. And I don't understand why we're not playing him. I mean,
why is Carter Coughlin not playing? Put them in there. You got to see what you got.
Exactly.
They're showing you who they are.
Exactly, man.
I'd like to see Carter Coughlin in there beside our other linebacker from Georgia.
Crowder.
Tay Crowder.
Yeah, I'd like to see those two out there. I think that would be a good duo. I think Ragland's, I mean, he's good at stuffing the run up the middle, but he's so slow. He can't really chase guys out to the edge. But I think Coughlin can. And so I would like to see both of those guys out there. It's just so frustrating.
Yeah, man. I mean, you look at this roster, man. I mean, look, there is talent on this team. There is, but I feel like there's a lot of players on this team that were just banking on the potential to hit, and the potential is not hitting. And I can't. The only play I could think of by O'Shane Zimenez that really somewhat stood out to me was a couple years back against Philly, and he had a sack in that game. Now, outside of that, I can't give you a play. I mean, I can't. He's either injured or not producing, and it's nothing in between, and it doesn't make no sense to me. It really doesn't. I didn't agree with the Rudolph signing. I thought even we had Levine Toilolo, we had Caden Smith. Caden Smith proved he deserved to be on that field, man.
Yeah, I didn't really like the Rudolph signing at first either, but after the Toilolo injury, I thought it ended up working out because I thought Toilolo was just a good blocking tight end. I'm like, all right, well, now we have Rudolph who can step in for him, and he could pretty much play the Toilolo role and then also be a red zone threat. But we haven't even used him in the red zone.
We can't even
And I don't know if
score
that's
the
and I don't even know if that's a coaching issue or if that's just like miscommunication, like audibles on the line where people don't know where they're supposed to go, or people just not improvising, playing some backyard football or what. And so I don't know if we should blame Garrett for not, for his play calling, or if it's just players not executing, or people just looking lost out there. So
It's all three.
It's a lot of different things right now.
It's all three. That's why we're so bad. You can't just say, "Oh man, Garrett's play calling is bad."
Well, that's what I mean. I just don't want to put all the blame on Garrett, because you've seen games where
between the 20s very well. We're one of the best teams in the league moving between the 20s.
I believe we have an average passing offense right now, actually.
I believe we have a damn good passing offense where Andrew Thomas is healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
when
our
Jason
receivers
Garrett's
are healthy.
calling better plays.
Yeah, because I think it allows them to call better plays.
Yep, especially with Tony on the field, it's giving him the opportunity to actually, you know what, open up that playbook. Okay.
Another thing too is where's Gary Brightwell at? Why aren't we using him more in the passing game? 'Cause he looks like he's a good pass catcher.
When you put him in there, a few runs that he's ran hard.
Dropping all
For
that
some
talent
reason,
and
we
not
wanna
use
put-
them.
We
Come
want
on,
to keep
man.
Booker in there, and then when Booker shows you he's not going to do it, we put in Elijah Penny.
Makes no sense. And he's listed as a fullback.
I'm not
What's
putting in
this?
Elijah Penny unless we on the goal line. I'd be like, here, fullback, take it in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I'm putting in Elijah Penny.
And I don't know why we haven't even been using Elijah Penny in the fullback role when Saquon's in
Why
there.
do we have two fullbacks on the roster?
That
We
never
barely
made
use
sense.
one.
Because I guess the Gillespie or whatever his name is just a good special teamer, and that's the only reason why he's on the roster.
Oh, okay. So we fill the roster. He has about 5 special teamers on his roster that he really loves. And
Right, and that's and if you want to get on Judge about something, that's definitely something to be upset about, is that we prioritize the special teams this whole offseason, and it hasn't even worked out for us.
And he's a special teams coach, and our special teams is nothing special. We don't do anything special.
It's costed us.
Right, and I think that has to do a lot with Riley Dixon too. I think we need to get rid of him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a decent punter. He's making a lot for not a lot, but he's making
he's making $3 million as a punter. $3 million as a punter.
Yeah, I'm seeing like 30, 40-yard punts routinely. Like, it's freaking ridiculous.
If I'm paying my punter $3 million, that means he's getting it inside the 10-yard line just about every time.
And he's not.
No, he's not.
That's the worst part. He's not.
You got a punter making $3 million. Think about that. That's an average punter at best.
Sick, man.
That's why we're getting killed.
Pretty much.
Well, because we're losing in the in field position. Because every time we do a 3 and out, we're giving it to them only like 20 yards down the field. It's like might as well just bomb the ball down the field, and if you get an interception, that's probably better than Riley even punting it. It'd probably be further than that.
Do you know our offensive line has 4 people that should be replaced on it, and the person that shouldn't be replaced is hurt?
Yep, 100%.
Now I did hear a couple of things today. Daniel Jones is not a franchise quarterback, and I agree. He's never going to be like an Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. Those are franchise quarterbacks. Those are quarterbacks that can make your team look good just about no matter what.
Well,
But Daniel Jones is a serviceable quarterback. You put the pieces around him and you protect him, he damn sure can win you some games. And if
well, you know what, Pat?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off, man. My phone's about to die out, but I wanted to leave with what you just said. You know what? You're right. I can't sit there and say he is a franchise quarterback.
He's not.
But we have not given. We've done him a disservice by not being able to address the issues that have been long-standing, to be able to have this young man go out and do what he is supposed to do. We've done a disservice to him. We've done a disservice to Eli when he was here, and that issue just progressed. So you're right. As of right now, yeah, he's not a franchise quarterback. But as you said,
I think he could
put those
be.
pieces. Yeah, he could be. But you got to be able to sit there and put those pieces around him for you to be able to evaluate him as such. And we have not done that. So to anybody who says, okay, he's not, well, tell me why he isn't. And don't put in his turnovers, his fumbles. I don't want to hear that. Don't want to hear that. You just tell me why he isn't, because all those other, all the rookies and stuff that are in there even now, they have some semblance of an offensive line be in front of them. So you get to be able to see and evaluate who they are. But you haven't done that with DJ. You haven't. So you're right. He's not a franchise quarterback right now in my eyes. But if they can at least address those issues, I think he can make that next step. As you saw progressively through this year, he's done that. And he showed out in the New Orleans game. He showed that. He showed out in the Washington game. He showed that he can.
Wasn't he rated PFF's offensive player of the week twice in the first month of this season?
Yep.
Like how many quarterbacks in the league could you put behind our line and put behind our offense against the Rams, and how many of them would have succeeded?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
No.
So I don't want to put all this hate on Daniel and say we need to go out and get another quarterback, because I think he's far from the issue of this team, because I think he's shown us what he can do when he has a supporting cast.
I don't
If
think
you
he's the issue
give
at all.
Daniel Jones an offensive line with these weapons, he would be a very serviceable quarterback, and he actually would be a Pro Bowler. He'll never be like a Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, but it's been proven throughout the history of the NFL that you can win with a decent quarterback. I mean, Trent Dilfer won with the Ravens. Brad Johnson won with the Buccaneers. Joe Flacco won the Super Bowl.
Well, do you guys think that if we
Nick
do sign
Foles won
DJ,
a Super Bowl.
if we do sign DJ, do you think we would have to sign him to some kind of record-breaking deal, or do you think we could sign him on the
You
cheap?
don't sign him to a record-breaking deal.
No, because I think we could probably sign him for a cheaper deal, to be honest with you, and I think we can use all that extra money that we save and put some better pieces around him. Because I don't think he's going to demand so much money.
I agree.
Hell, Rex Grossman with the Bears made it to the Super Bowl. Rex Grossman, know him very well. Trash. If he can make a Super Bowl, because that Bears defense was just outstanding that year, and Devin Hester was killing.
Well, even look at Blake Bortles with the freaking Jags.
Yeah. Tom Coughlin almost got them to a Super Bowl with Blake Bortles at quarterback. They were one quarter away.
All right.
And it's honestly, man, if we could really build around him and put the pieces there, I think, like you said, we got something serviceable there. But until we address this
only thing we
line,
need is an offensive line. The main thing that's supposed to be fixed, that's what we need.
Yeah.
When that offensive line plays decent, he puts up at least 300 yards. We need a better offensive line, and we need a better game plan when we get in the red zone. That's it.
Let me ask y'all something. Why can't we score in the red zone? Because a lot of teams do it like it's nothing.
Because we don't have an identity. We don't have a plan. We don't have discipline. We don't have a right guard, left guard, and a center that can push people to get an inch.
That's true.
Well, how many times do we get in the red zone and then we beat ourselves with false start penalties or delay game penalties?
We don't have discipline. We do. Or the ball is snapped and our quarterback just lets it tip off his hands. We lose 10 yards. Or we snap the ball and our center just falls on his ass for no reason and Daniel Jones gets sacked. We don't have discipline. Our coordinator doesn't have trust in this offense enough to call up good plays. In the red zone, he believes we have to do trick plays to get in the end zone. So it's a mixture of bad play calling in the red zone, no discipline. And like I said, Daniel Jones is not a franchise quarterback. He's not going to be able to go outside the pocket and make plays like that. But if you give him a clean pocket and give him time, yeah, he can get it in the end zone. But he's not a playmaker like that.
No, I mean,
that's not bad. It's just that you have to have the pieces around him, and we're putting him in a situation where he has to play otherworldly, and that's just not him. And he's trying to do it, and that's why he's getting turnovers.
Yeah, and I want to read this to y'all real quick because this was from Joe Judge's presser. You know, when he signed on, you know, we'll play fast, we'll play downhill, we'll play aggressive, punch you in the nose for 60 minutes. We'll play like every play has a history and a life of its own with a relentless competitive attitude. We will play fundamentally sound, and we will not beat ourselves. That is the mission right there. I can't say that we've really done any of that. I know we've tried being competitive. There's been games where, we've really kept it close. I will give them that. But we've beaten the hell out of ourselves more than anything. I got to be honest.
We beat ourselves better than anybody.
And it's a damn shame, too. I mean, it's I can't. We're not even playing fundamentally sound, and that's what this man preaches damn near every single week. We're gonna focus on the fundamentals. We got to look at the tape, and we got to be fundamentally sound. But what you're doing isn't working.
Yeah,
It's
he
not
said
working.
we're going to play fundamentally sound. We're not going to beat ourselves, and that is our mission right there. That's one of the things that really drew me to Judge in the first place, because I know that was a big problem when we had Shermer here, was offensive penalty and defensive penalties, and a lot of them brought us out of the game. So you're thinking, hey, a lot of those games that we could have won, but we beat ourselves with penalties, those are going to be wins now because we have Joe Judge here. That's going to bring a disciplined culture, but we just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I got to log off and charge up my phone, but it was nice talking to you guys, man. I greatly appreciate you, Hitman, getting me on, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Brother.
I appreciate
come
it.
stop by
What's you
anytime,
got a
man.
channel, bro?
Oh shit! I think the phone died. Damn. All right. Well, Rodney, if you somehow watch this, drop your thing in the chat, man, for real. But damn, man. I mean, looking at this team, man. I mean, I don't. Outside of the obvious, with letting some players go, looking at a different general manager, I don't know what it's going to take. I really don't know what it's going to take at this point.
And out of the general managers that could be available, do you guys have any names in mind of who you'd want the Giants to pursue?
Nope.
I was about to say, at the moment, I don't. I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't. And what scares me the most is that they're just going to elevate Kevin Abrams. That's what scares me the most.
And see, well, if they elevate Kevin Abrams, I wouldn't mind that if it's just for a 1-year thing. If they were like, hey, we want to give Joe Judge 1 more year to see what he has, right? And we're just going to elevate Kevin Abrams for the 1 year, and then if they still don't follow through next year, then we're just going to, burn the whole thing to the ground. How would you guys feel about that?
I wouldn't mind it, I guess. I mean, I kind of have the mindset of, if Gettleman's not going to be here, honestly, man, I'd start scouting this year. I can't hold you. I would start scouting this year. But I don't think that's necessarily, when you put it that way, the worst thing in the world, for sure.
Because as emotional as we are as fans, and I know it sounds, tempting just to burn the whole thing to the ground and start over again, but that's just what all the bad organizations do. They just get rid of coaches and GMs after 1 or 2 years, and they just stay in that cycle, and then it's like 10, 15 years down the road, and you're still, you still haven't gotten to where you want to be. So I don't know if we should just practice patience and just still listen to what Joe Judge is preaching, and ride it out just for another year and just see where it takes us. And if not, if they do elevate Kevin Abrams, then it's not like you're bringing in a whole new general manager, and then they're going to keep that manager and fire Judge. It's going to be the same thing with Shermer and Reese. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to be so reactionary and as a fan, and want the whole thing to be torn down, and then another 2 years from now with our new coach and our new GM, we're saying the same thing, and then the cycle just keeps continuing.
I understand that for sure. I do think that we, as hard as it is, have to be a little patient, but I don't blame fans that are losing their patience or have lost their patience with this team just because of how we've been the last decade or so.
No, and I get that.
But no, I mean, I personally wouldn't, like I said, when you put it that way, if it's for a year, if they find someone within this time frame between now and the end of the season, or at least before the draft, I wouldn't be upset with it. But at the same time, man, I'm not sold on Abrams. I mean, when I hear him talk, it's just like I want to fall asleep. I can't hold you. And I get it. The general manager's not supposed to be a rah-rah kind of a guy. But I remember in the beginning of the season, Well, actually, before the season, they were trying to get Abrams more involved with like the media, with Dave Gettleman. He's doing pressers with him, and just hearing him talk, man, it was like, man, I'm over here like closing my eyes, like it's just, I felt like I was in a class, like it didn't do nothing for me personally, but that's just me though.
Yeah, man. I think if I think they should focus on using this draft to bring in a different style of type of players in this franchise. Am I saying Gellerman and Joe Judge is not their fault? No, I'm not saying that. If you feel you have to purge them, you need to get rid of them as well. I definitely want to see Patrick Graham go if this defense continues to play like this, because we're not beating anybody. This defense continues to play like this. I'm sorry. You've given up a touchdown before halftime every game this season.
And
Not
that's
just
it,
once,
well,
a touchdown.
and that's the thing with Graham too, is can you put all that blame on him if our defense, although our secondary, we came into the season thinking our secondary was god tier, our pass rush just isn't there. So how much can you put that on Graham if our
Let's
corners
be
have to cover
real.
for 5-6 seconds and then they're
Let's
giving
be
up
real.
30-40 yard passes, is that on them or is that just the lack of the pass rush?
It's on both of them. Let's be real. Patrick Graham, I believe, has a say-so on the people that he wants on his team as far as defense. Because him and Joe Judge are tight. So if Patrick Graham wanted certain people on his defense, Patrick Graham will have those people on his defense. So I believe he was
Well, he's
down
got
with
a lot of say in the building. He's got the title as the assistant head coach, so I'm sure he's able to bring in the people he wants.
So that's part of his fault, right?
No, it is.
You mean to tell me that you said, hey, yeah, we can afford to get rid of Kyle Fackrell and Jabal Sheard and other pass rushers. We got Zimenez and Carter. You mean to tell me he was okay with that? So
Well, do you think that Aziz was going into the year? Did you think that Aziz was a better pass rusher than Fackrell going into the year? Do you think he had higher upside than Fackrell going in?
Yes, he has higher upside.
Like he would be able to replace that production?
I think that he would.
I believe he is giving you just about the same production when he gets the time. It's just that those guys are not good. Remember, those guys were injured last year. They weren't even in there last year. And that's why this defense was playing good. You think Lorenzo Carter and them last year being in them the way they're playing now, this defense would have did what they did last year?
Hell no.
They have no heart, bro. Like none.
It's a shame, man. It's really a shame because honestly, looking at how our defense played last year, you would think with the adjustments that we made going into this season, this defense can only get better. And it's taken like 30 steps backwards.
And now with that comment that Judge said, where he pretty much treats the first month of the regular season as an extension of the preseason, do you think that has something to do with our play for the first few weeks?
No. I think this team is just sorry, man. And we beat ourselves. We don't have the roster to compete. We just don't.
But it's hard to believe that when we came into this year looking like we all said on paper we have one of the best rosters in the league on paper. So it's like,
that's
what happened?
On paper.
What changed?
The heart of the people. What changed is they had to go on the field. That's what changed. Everybody looked good on paper, but when you hit that field, it's real. And when they hit that field, they're not good, man.
Yeah, but it's like even I don't even understand why Dexter Lawrence has taken such a step back. When you're watching the games, people want to kind of dog on Leonard Williams, but it seems like he's getting doubled or triple teamed almost every play. And you'd think that would free up some lanes for Dexter, but he's just kind of non-existent out there too, especially
because the loss of Dalvin Tomlinson hurts them very much. And then you put the lack of edge rush out there. Nobody.
But is he really even doing that great in Minnesota right now?
Lorenzo Carter or Zimenez. And so if you have a tackle that can just bully your two edges at any point. You don't have to chip them. You don't have to help them or nothing. Of course, they're going to double team and triple team Williams. Of course, we don't have a defensive tackle that can take on a double team and win like Dalvin Tomlinson was. So, of course, other people are going to struggle. We have no pass rush whatsoever. There's only one
what was that
tackle in the league that I know that can still get pressure like that and have no edge presence. And even his play will go down some, and that's Aaron Donald.
What was that that report that I think that came out today that said the Giants in the last 100 pass rushing snaps, they only got one pressure in the last 100 snaps.
It was something like that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about because I saw it on Twitter. It was something.
And
like
that's
that.
ridiculous because I feel like we might not have the best defensive line in the league, but I don't think we just have a bunch of scrubs out there either. So at that point, I guess
heart.
They got no dogs, man. We need some more dogs, man.
I don't care how talented you are. If you're not putting in the effort the way you're supposed to be putting it in, you're not going to do anything. I don't care how big you are. I don't care how big and strong you are. There's a certain guy named Albert Hainsworth that only played when he wanted the money. After that, he played with no heart. He played with no dog. It was like he wasn't even there. One of the biggest, strongest guys on the field. Trash.
So, I mean, low key, I'm starting to understand why Tennessee really didn't try signing Adoree Jackson. Low key, I'm starting to understand.
We all see now.
And I was high on Adoree. I got to be honest with you. I thought that he, with where the scheme was headed, converting, from a zone to more of a man, and looking at James Bradbury, I was like, okay, it's an upgrade over Ryan Lewis. It's an upgrade over Sam Beal. But I mean, shit, like, I don't know, man. I wish I had the answer.
It's hard to see players that from last year they came off of a Pro Bowl run and the NFL's top 100 and then they just fell off a cliff. So is that some kind of like on the coaching staff's part where it's like part of our conditioning where we're failing the players or we're just not putting them in a position to succeed? It's just even in Carolina, like he probably wasn't the best corner in Carolina, but he wasn't this bad. It's not like he's at that age where he's just losing a step. Like how old is he? Is he like 26, 27?
It's like 20. I'm gonna check right now.
Because he should still be in his prime. I don't understand why, after being our best corner, like one of the best corners in the league last year, to, same thing with, Sexy Dexy and Leonard Williams. Those two were freaking clogging up the run last year, and I know it had a big deal or a big part with Tomlinson leaving, but it's like you're going from, being one of the best run stopping defenses in the league to, bottom 10, just on one off season. And all we did was lose one of our nose tackles, but, we thought we were going to get that production back with, what's his face? The guy that just tore his pec.
Danny Shelton.
Yeah, Shelton. Yeah, that big dude that keeps getting pushed back. It's like, can't you just stand there? I don't understand why. I mean, I don't expect you to get pressure every time, but can you just not get pushed back 5 yards every time, please?
He's a big dude. I think he's like
he is a big dude.
Huge. I looked at James Bradbury. He's actually 28 at the moment.
Oh, he's 28. Oh, okay. I thought he was 26, 27, but still, I mean, for a corner, I don't know. Is that the age where you start to slow down as a corner? I thought corners went to like 30, 31 nowadays.
Squad. I got a call the game with Lou, man. I just came on to show you some support, bro.
No problem, brother. No problem.
I'll be on Lou channel, man. Just let me know when you go on. Well, I get the notification, so I'm just gonna pop in, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in y'all stream too, man. I'm gonna see y'all there.
All right, nice talking to you, guy on the right. I don't know your name. I can't see your name.
Oh yeah, let me take it down.
Oh, deception. Or this what? Deception?
Is it deception?
Yeah, it's deception. Yeah,
I thought that shit said like Decepticon or some shit. Right. I was like, all right, like I'll take it.
I've been I've never. This is my first time ever calling into one of your guys' shows. I always listen to Entertainer, Bad Dog, Hit Squad, and even you, Big Pat. I join into your streams all the time. So It's good to actually be able to talk to you guys.
Yeah, you're
bro,
welcome
no
to come on
problem.
anytime, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna try to be doing more streams, through the week and shit. Um, I want to try to call one of the games because I try to jump to different content creators' pages, for the streams to try to show support. But yeah, no problem, man. Anytime y'all want to come on, by all means, man. It's an honor, for real.
Yeah, I'm actually going to head out too, but I really appreciate having me on Hit Squad.
Yeah, not a problem. Deception, Big Pat, all y'all welcome anytime, man. Anytime,
Yeah,
brother.
we family, man. But I'm gonna head out real quick. Hit.
Yes, sir. I'll see you soon, brother.
All right.
All right, y'all. So it's the show. I appreciate all y'all coming in for real. Um, we got a long season ahead of us. We have a long season ahead of us. We know the changes that have to be made. Um, I'm praying and hoping Dave Gettleman gets fired. I hate saying that. I never want to see a man get fired, but I can't justify him really being on this team. But let me know your thoughts below. I appreciate everyone that was in the chat. Joseph Clark, NYG True Fan 1, Rodney, Giant Opinion Sports. That's my brother right there. Shout out Giant Opinion Sports, man. NYG 31, Deception, Rodney. I know Miz was in the chat. So I appreciate all y'all coming through. Mac, the Giants fan. I appreciate all y'all coming through. It's been real. Be easy, y'all boys.